Hello everyone, and today I'm going to tell you about my recent changes in my game. So, I'm going to tell you about the bullets I've made, the changes to them. They're all different, they have... The first one is like armor piercing, it now can be ricochet from surfaces, you can shoot in any surface, and it's pretty thick ricochet angle, so you won't miss it. And now it's really hard to deal with bots because their front armor now can ricochet all your bullets. And the second bullet type, it's like high explosive. It slows down the enemies, as you can see. You shoot it and they kind of slow down. So that's the thing now. You can now run away from them, you can deal more damage to them. It's really useful thing, so I'm really glad to implement this. And as you can see, it's faster, but it now can be ricocheted from the surfaces of the armor, but it's really hard to see on the video. But if you pause it and watch closely, it will ricochet sometimes. The places where the leg are placed and connected, that's a weak spots, and the turret head is actually a weak spot, so you can try to shoot it. The other stuff that I've changed, it's like the drop rate, all the technical parameters. I've tried to remake my collision system because I'm using rays, and rays are not so good for accurate collision system, so I remade it on a trigger collision, and I got some issues with terrain collider actually. I don't know why, but terrain collider doesn't work well with contact point, closest point of collider. The Unity says that it's not possible to do with a terrain collider, and I don't know why. I've tried to search some solution in the API, some kind of to get the position of the tree, but actually I made a simple solution where I can just reverse my controls when I enter terrain collider, so it's like simulating the collision, and also made closest point collision that my spider bot gets away from the collision point, and everything is working fine now. And I reworked sniper view because it actually was really bad, and now you can see much more, and I added a right crosshair to it so you can see where your gun is pointing at. It's really important. And I updated the map, I added a lot of things like forest, foliage, trees to see how it works, and I've taken all of the assets from a scene, Unity scene. The link will be in description to that scene where I've attached all these assets. And as you can see, it's really hard to see the bots in the forest. They're kind of blending in, so they're invisible now, and this foliage is kind of a mess. So yep, now your mobile drones are really useful, so you can spot enemies easy. It was the first launch. I've got a lot of issues like the green grass because of the sun, collision boxes in the bushes when I don't need them, and no collisions in the rocks, no collisions with the trees. It's a lot of things to do. And another really important aspect of the terrain collider that you cannot access trees and tree instances. You cannot access them and make like rotation, or actually you can make position change, but most importantly you cannot make rotation change, because I want to make trees fall because of the spider bot that they are pushing them, but I cannot do that because of the way terrain implements trees. They like instances, so they're copying the rotation of prefab, so changing the rotation would affect all the trees, all the tree instances, and that's really bad. So I think the only solution to that problem is to manually place trees, but there are a lot of them, so in the future I'll make tree, not actually hand painted, but hand placed, because I wanna this kind of realism where I can push them, when I can rotate them as I want, so I need a little bit more control. Terrain tools are good to visualize, but they're kinda limited to making a good gameplay. Now you can see how I'm fighting in the forest. It's really cool, but it would have been cooler if I could have moved trees and see how enemies move in trees. They kinda see the movement, get the feeling, being frightened of something really far away from their spawn, and I'm trying to deal with some of them that are not really getting away from me. I've got an issue with my code somewhere, so they do not forget you. Now, but I resolved it. Now they can forget the target that I'm trying to kind of dodge, and it's really scary, really creepy when someone is really green, walk away from bushes and trying to attack you. So yeah, the bushes and the trees are really adding to the feeling of the game, of the spider bot. It tells game you're trying to find them, because you can see I'm using my drones to see the bots, and it's really scary. They're destroying my drones, they're trying to attack me, they're engaging me, they're trying to destroy me, and it's really hard and scary. I'm trying as hard as possible to survive. I've blocked a shot with my leg, and the only thing is left, there were two of them, and I'm trying to find another one. I'm trying to spot him, because I'm one hit away from being dead, and it's really intense. And I got shot. Yes, of course, because they're kinda thick. In the close distance, they're really insanely accurate, and I think so they would be really poor shooters. And to be honest, it's kinda hard to balance all that stuff, because there are a lot of parameters that I can change. The parameters of the spider bot, of the movement, of the speed, of the shooting angle, shooting distance, reloading, etc. And this time I made a change. I added colliders to the trees, I made it colliders to the rocks, so now it's kinda okay, but still my collision system is using rays, so I reworked it later. It's not so complicated, because rays are not so accurate, the lines, thin lines, so you need something thick like a collider box. This time I've decided to test my scripts and trying to compete this mountain, trying to get at the top, and it worked pretty well. My legs weren't so janky and buggy, and later I've changed a little bit of the parameters because they were a little bit too speedy, and also I've changed the method my legs are placed. Using animation rigging, I've started using two-leg script, I guess so. It's like inverse kinematic for two legs, because my spiders have two legs, and it's more logical to use two legs, to be honest, because with just inverse kinematic with for infinite amount of legs, they are getting reversed, they getting rotated upside down from time to time when your position of endpoint are higher than the position of your connection point. They got flipped, and it creates a really bad visual bug. So I'm encourage you, if you're interested of doing something like this, I encourage you to use two-leg inverse kinematic solver, and it works really fine with this, and you can make pretty good legs with this. So don't use multi-part inverse kinematic if you don't really need them, so try to use it as less as possible. Another main thing is that I'm planning to make blocks to create a random generated map. It's like using wavelength collapse algorithm, because I've seen it and it works really fine, and actually it solves a lot of my problems. I don't need to create map, I don't need to paint it, and it's always the same, so it will be random every time, and it will add a feeling it's like roguelike. So you can collect your ammo, you have to walk, you have to discover some stuff, and also I'll make upgrades for the spiderbot, so you will be able to upgrade it after killing some enemies. It's my thought how it will work. Or maybe there will be some drop pods from the sky that you will collect them and receive some buffs to your spiderbot. And of course a random generated terrain would be appreciated, because you won't remember the cool spots and where the enemies are going and where they are spawned. It solves a lot of my problems, like game design problems. The random generated map are really good. And also I will be able to make a tree rotation, because I won't use terrain data. Now you will see how I'll be shooting nukes from high mountain, and how it's easy to use really high explosive ammunition to destroy my mobs. Thanks everyone for watching, goodbye, see you next time.